Hello friends, welcome to the course Atoms and Molecules for MSc Physics as per the revised syllabus of Savitribai Phule Pune University CBCS 2019 pattern. So we are studying our second module, molecules. In this lecture, we will study the dissociation energy and dissociation products. In the previous lectures, we have studied the vibrational core structure of the diatomic molecule. We have also studied the Franck-Condon principle. So in this lecture, let us study the dissociation energy and dissociation products. So what is meant by dissociation? So dissociation is the splitting of the molecule into separate atoms. That means when during the vibration, the molecule get enough energy and it will be splitted into separate atoms. So in this case, since the molecule dissociates into separate atoms, the atoms are the outcome of the dissociation process. Hence, they are called as dissociation products. So what are the dissociation products? The separated atoms are the dissociation products, right? And the energy that is required to split the molecule into separate atoms is called as dissociation energy, right? So we have seen that when a molecule undergoes vibration, there is a change in the energy levels of the molecule. Thus, corresponding to each electronic energy level of the molecule, there are several vibrational energy levels denoted by the quantum number nu. The electronic energy level of the molecule shows the typical curve known as Morse curve, right? And the vibrations of the diatomic molecule, they are anharmonic. That means if the vibration is large enough, the molecule can split into separate atoms, and this is called as dissociation, right? So during the dissociation, the energy of the molecule that will increase, and here you can see the dotted line shown on the curve indicates the dissociation energy, right? So the energy with which the molecule dissociated calculated from the vibrational ground state, that is from nu is equal to 0 level, and it is called as dissociation energy from the ground state, and it is denoted by D0 as shown in figure, right? So that means we have the electronic energy levels and the vibrational energy levels. They are denoted by E and nu. So there are several ways in which the dissociation occurs, right? So in the previous lecture, we have studied the Franck-Condon principle. So in that case, we have considered the case where the equilibrium nuclear separation in the upper state is considerably greater than that in the lower state, right? So corresponding to the lower state and upper state, we have the dissociation energies, right? So we indicate the lower state with the double prime and the upper state with the single prime, right? So this E double prime and E prime are the electronic energy levels, and corresponding to these electronic energy levels, we have nu double prime and nu prime that indicates the different vibrational levels. Now the corresponding to each electronic energy level, we have the dissociation energies, and they are denoted by T0 double prime and D0 prime, that is calculated from nu double prime equal to 0 and nu prime is equal to 0. So the dashed lines, they indicates the dissociation energy from the normal and excited states into atoms. So we can see that D0 double prime is the dissociation energy from the electronic ground state, and D0 prime is the dissociation energy from the electronic excited state. Now we can see that the when the two separate atoms will be formed, when the molecule is initially in the electronic ground state and it is separated or dissociated, in that case the dissociation energy of the separate atoms will be D0 double prime. But if the molecule is in the upper state, that means the upper electronic state, that means E prime, and if it is dissociates, into separate atoms, then the dissociation energy in that case will be d0 prime. So we can see that the total energy of the dissociation products, that is atoms from the upper state, is greater by an amount called as EXE than that of the atoms produced on dissociation from the ground state, right? So this energy in the excitation energy. So this energy is the excitation energy of the one or rarely both of the atoms produced on dissociation. So we will see that this energy is the energy of one of the atoms only, but very rarely it can be equal to the energy of both the atoms they are produced on the dissociation. So d0 double prime is the dissociation energy from the ground state, and d0 prime is the dissociation energy from the excited state, and EXE is the excitation energy of one or rarely both of the atoms produced on the excitation. So we have seen in the previous lectures that the spectrum of this system consists of some vibrational transitions, that means quantized followed by a continuum, that means non-quantized transitions representing dissociation, right? So the lower wave number limit of this continuum represent just sufficient energy to cause dissociation. That is, the dissociation products separate with virtually zero kinetic energy at this energy, and thus we have the wave number nu bar continuum limit is equal to d0 double prime plus EXE, that is in per centimeter, right? Thus we see that we can measure the d0 double prime, the dissociation energy, if we know EXE, the excitation of the product, right? The excitation energy of the atoms in various electronic states can be measured by atomic spectroscopy. However, the precise state of the dissociation products, that is separated atoms, is not always known, and therefore there are limitations on the calculation of this d0 double prime. So there are several ways in which the total energy d0 double prime plus EXE may be separated into its components, and we can see two such methods from which we can deduce the energy, right? So firstly, in the thermochemical studies, they often lead to an approximate value of d0 double prime, and hence since d0 double prime plus EXE is accurately measurable spectroscopically, a rough value of EXE is obtained from this process. And when the spectrum of the atomic products is studied, it usually happens that only one value of the excitation energy corresponds with EXE, that means the EXE. Thus, when the state of the products is known, EXE can be measured accurately and a precise value of d0 double prime is deduced, right? So this is the first way. Secondly, if more than one spectroscopic dissociation limit is found corresponding to the dissociation into two or more different states of the products with different excitation energies, the separation between the excitation energies are often found to correspond closely with the separation between only one set of excited states of the atoms observed spectroscopically. And thus, the nature of the excited products and their energies are immediately known from this case, right? And therefore, we can calculate or we can deduce the dissociation energies of the molecules. Now, here we consider another case of the dissociation in which the upper electronic state is unstable. That means there is no minimum in the energy curve, and as soon as a molecule is raised to this state by excitation, the molecule dissociates into products with total excitation energy EXE, right? And the products fly apart with kinetic energy E kinetic, which represent the excess energy in the final state above that needed just to dissociate the molecule into separate atoms, right? So when the molecule get enough energy, if that energy is equal to the d0 prime plus AXE, in that case the molecule will have zero kinetic energy. In that case, the separated atoms, they will have the zero kinetic energy. However, if the absorbed energy is higher than that of this value, then the excess energy is equal to E kinetic. That will be the kinetic energy of the dissociation products, that means the separate atoms. And since E kinetic is not quantized, the whole spectrum of this system will exhibit a continuum, the lower limit of which, if observable, will be precisely the energy d0 double prime plus Exe. That means this energy is corresponding to this dotted line, right? And for if the molecule has received excess energy, that will be utilized and that will be released as the kinetic energy of the separated atoms or dissociation products, and therefore we get a continuous kind of spectrum, right? So as before, if Exe can be found from the knowledge of the dissociation products, the d0 double prime can be measured with great accuracy, right? So in this case, we can measure the dissociation energy from the ground state. Thus, we have seen two such cases. So in one case, there is a minimum in the upper state. Then the transition led to a quantized spectrum followed by the continuum, right? So we get a quantized spectral lines followed by a continuum in that case. In the other case, the upper state has no minimum, and thus continuous upper state can be seen, and therefore transition to such levels lead to a continuum in the spectrum, right? So in many electronic spectra, there is no continuum appear at all, and the internuclear distances in the upper and lower states are such that transitions near to the dissociation limit are of negligible probability. But it is still possible to derive a value of the dissociation energy by noting how the vibrational lines converge. In the previous lecture, we have seen that the vibrational energy level may be written as E nu is equal to nu plus half omega E bar minus Xe into nu plus half bracket square into omega E bar, which is in per centimeter. And so the separation between neighboring levels delta E is plainly given by delta E is equal to E nu plus 1 minus E nu. That means the separation between the neighboring vibrational levels, which is equal to omega E bar into 1 minus 2 Xe into nu plus 1, which is in per centimeter. So this separation obviously decreases with increasing nu, and the dissociation limit is reached when delta E tends to 0, right? So thus the maximum value of nu is given by nu max, where this nu bar into 1 minus 2 Xc into nu plus 1, that will be equal to 0. That means delta E tends to 0. That will give us the nu max, which is equal to 1 upon 2 Xc minus 1. We recall that the unharmonicity constant Xc is of the order of 10 raised to minus 2, and hence nu max is about 50. That means for the vibrational levels, if we get nu is equal to nu max, that means nu is nearly equal to 50. In that case, our dissociation energy limit will be reached, right? So the molecule will dissociate at the place, right? So if we plot the separation between the vibrational transitions, that means delta E as observed in the electronic spectrum against the vibrational quantum number nu. So initially the graph is a straight line, and which agrees with the equation delta E is equal to omega E bar into 1 minus 2 Xc into nu plus 1, which is in per centimeter. So the graph may be extrapolated to find the nu max, right? So we show it by dotted line, and we extend the graph to the nu axis, and we get the value of nu max from this data, right? Also, since the dissociation energy is simply the sum of all the increments, that means delta E, from nu is equal to 0 to nu equal to nu max. That means delta is the separation between different nu levels, right? And if we count on the separations from nu is equal to 0 to nu equal to 1, plus nu is equal to 1 to nu equal to 2, plus nu is equal to 2 to nu equal to 3, up to nu is equal to nu max, right? So all this separation, that will give the dissociation energy, right? So the area under the curve gives us the dissociation energy directly, right? So that will give us the dissociation energy. So such a linear extrapolation was first suggested by Birge and Spooner, and hence it is called as Birge-Spooner extrapolation method. So it is very important method used in the chemistry. So on the other hand, if the extensive data is available about a set of electronic vibrational transitions, the graph delta E versus nu will be at high nu begin to fall off more sharply as cubic and quadratic terms become significant, which we have ignored in the calculations, right? So in the calculations of delta E, we have the cubic term and quadratic terms, and we have ignored these terms while calculating these energies, right? But these terms, they will become significant, and because of that, instead of getting a straight line, we get a curved kind of diagram or plot, right? And in this case, the a most accurate determination of dissociation energy is obtained by extrapolating the smooth curve and finding the area beneath it, right? So by finding the area under the curve, we can determine the most accurately the dissociation energy of the molecule, right? So in the absorption spectra, it is normally the series of lines originating from nu prime is equal to 0 which are observed, right? Thus the convergence of the levels in the upper left state and the dissociation energy of the state is normally found from this spectrum, right? While this is itself is of great interest, particularly since the molecules in the excited state usually they will revert back to the ground state within fractions of microsecond, and therefore the dissociation energy in the ground state can be found quite easily, provided that as before the dissociation products and their excitation energies are known. And thus if you know EXE from the atomic spectroscopy and D0 prime from the Birge-Spooner extrapolation, and if we can measure the energy of the 0-0 transition, that means this transition directly by the calculation from the observed energy levels, we can have the value of D0 double prime, right? So we get the value of D0 double prime is equal to the energy of the 0-0 transition, that means the 0-0 progression plus D0 prime, that means this energy minus EXE, right? So that will give us the D0 double prime level, right? So that means from D0, let's say the transition we are considering from nu double prime is equal to 0 to nu prime is equal to 0, right? So from vibrational ground state in the lower electronic state to the vibrational ground state in the upper electronic state, in that case the corresponding energy will be this energy of 0-0, right? So this energy plus this energy will be equal to the dissociation energy plus EXE, right? And therefore we can calculate the D0 double prime is equal to the energy of 0-0 transition. So energy of 0-0 transition is from nu double prime equal to 0 to nu prime equal to 0. That means this difference plus D0 prime. So this is D0 prime minus EXE, right? So we can easily get the value of dissociation energy from the ground state by simply studying the spectrum, right? So in summary, we have studied the what is meant by dissociation and dissociation energy. Right? We have also studied the dissociation products, that means the separate atoms. We have deduced the equation to calculate the dissociation energy of the ground state. So, in the next lecture we will study the rotational fine structure of electronic vibrational transitions. Thank you.